1976 Liberty half dollar from the Philadelphia Mint carries a strange kind of magic that pulls collectors in before they even realize why. Struck during America's bicentennial celebration, this coin doesn't just represent money. It represents a moment when the entire nation paused to honor 200 years of independence. When you hold a 1976 P Liberty half dollar in your hand, you're holding history, pride, and a design that was never meant to be ordinary. What makes this coin instantly different is its bold reverse design featuring Independence Hall. Unlike regular half dollars, this image was created only for bicentennial era, making the 1976 issue a once-in-a-generation release. Millions were minted, yes, but not all coins are created equal. Among these, a tiny number survive in extraordinary condition, untouched by circulation, with blazing luster and razor-sharp details that separate common coins from elite collector treasures. Many people believe every 1976 half dollar is silver, but the real story is more intriguing. The Philadelphia Mint struck these coins in a copper-nickel composition, yet collectors don't judge value by metal alone. They judge by preservation, rarity within condition, and striking perfection. A flawless example with zero wear, full mint brilliance, and no marks can rise dramatically in value compared to ordinary circulated pieces. The coins that truly ignite excitement are those rare Philadelphia strikes that appear almost unreal. Coins with mirror-like surfaces, strong strikes, and absolute visual perfection. These pieces look as if they were frozen in time the moment they left the mint. When graded at the highest levels, such coins become competition pieces, hunted by serious collectors who are willing to pay astonishing prices to own the very best example known. What turns a simple 50-cent coin into a life-changing discovery is a combination of condition and demand. A top-graded 1976 P Liberty half dollar is not something you casually find in pocket change. These coins are usually discovered in old rolls, forgotten collections, or estate holdings where they were protected for decades without anyone realizing their future importance. Stories circulate in the coin world of collectors who underestimated what they had and sold too early, only to watch similar coins later command breathtaking prices at auction. While claims of instant billionaire fortunes are exaggerated, the real lesson is powerful. Never rush to sell a rare coin without understanding its true potential. Knowledge is what separates regret from reward. This coin also carries emotional value that amplifies its appeal. It represents freedom, independence, and national identity, qualities that collectors deeply connect with. As time moves forward and bicentennial coins age further into history, demand continues to rise for the finest surviving examples. Coins in average condition stay common, but perfection becomes rarer every year. Another factor that fuels value is grading. Professional certification can transform an overlooked coin into a recognized treasure. A 1976 P Liberty half dollar graded at the highest mint state levels enters an entirely different league, where prices are determined not by face value or metal, but by scarcity at the top. If you believe you own a pristine example, the smartest move is patience. Don't clean it, don't polish it, and don't accept quick offers from people who downplay its importance. Many legendary coin discoveries began the same way, with someone who paused, researched, and chose wisdom over haste. In the end, the 1976 Liberty half dollar is not a fantasy coin that magically creates overnight billionaires, but is a coin that can change fortunes when rarity, condition, and timing align. Its true power lies in understanding what you hold. For those lucky enough to own an exceptional example, this small piece of history could become one of the most meaningful and rewarding discoveries of a lifetime. The story of a 1992 Liberty half dollar with AP mint mark is one of those coin world legends that grips collectors by the heart and refuses to let go. At first glance, it looks ordinary, almost forgettable, the kind of coin that could sit quietly in a drawer for decades. But hidden beneath that calm surface is the idea that sometimes history slips, mistakes happen, and a single coin escapes the system carrying a secret that can electrify a fortune. This is why people whisper about this year and mint with such intensity, because if lightning struck during its creation, the result could be a coin that changes a life overnight. What makes the 1992 era special is that it sits at a crossroads of modern minting and old-school tradition. By then, coins were being produced in massive numbers, yet perfection was still the goal, and perfection is fragile. When a coin from this time breaks the rules, wrong metal, unusual strike, mirror-like proof surfaces where none should exist, or a dramatic minting error, it becomes something entirely different. It stops being pocket change and starts being a survivor, a rebel that escaped destruction and entered the world against all odds. Collectors don't chase dates alone. They chase stories frozen in metal. A 1992 Liberty-style half-dollar tied to the Philadelphia Mint becomes powerful when it carries an impossible trait, something the Mint never meant the public to see. Imagine a coin struck on the wrong silver planchet, heavier than it should be, shining with a depth that feels almost unreal. Coins like that aren't priced like normal collectibles. They're hunted, negotiated in private rooms, and spoken about in tones usually reserved for rare art. The word million enters a conversation not because every 1992 coin is magical, but because the rarer survivors operate in a different universe. Value explodes when condition meets rarity and mystery. A flawless surface, razor-sharp details, and an origin story that cannot be repeated turn a small disc of metal into a financial shockwave. At that level, the coin is no longer compared to other coins. It is compared to one-of-one treasures that wealthy collectors compete for without blinking. There is also the psychology of timing. Coins from the early 1990s are old enough to feel historic, yet modern enough that shocking errors stand out clearly. When one of these coins surfaces after years of silence, untouched and verified, the excitement multiplies. It feels like history waking up. That emotional charge is often what pushes prices from impressive into unbelievable territory, because the buyer is not just purchasing metal. They are buying the thrill of owning something that should not exist. This is why patience becomes power. Many people lose fortunes not because their coin lacked value, but because they sold too quickly, too cheaply, to the wrong hands. A truly extraordinary 1992 P half-dollar would never belong at a flea market table or in a rush deal. It deserves expert eyes, controlled environments, and negotiations that respect its rarity. One careless decision can erase a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The phrase fortune overnight doesn't mean magic. It means preparation meeting discovery. When the right coin meets the right moment and the right collector, wealth can shift dramatically. History is full of objects ignored for years, then suddenly recognized for what they truly are. Coins are no different. The quietest pieces sometimes carry the loudest financial impact when their truth is finally understood. It's important to understand that the real power lies not in hope, but in uniqueness. Millions are not paid for ordinary coins, even old ones. They are paid for exceptions, for mistakes that will never be repeated, for pieces that sit alone at the top of their category. A genuine, extraordinary 1992 P Liberty half-dollar would exist in that rare air, where money becomes almost secondary to ownership. This is why such coins are treated with respect bordering on reverence. They are handled carefully, stored properly, and spoken about cautiously. Every scratch avoided, every detail preserved, protects not just beauty but potential destiny. In the coin world, condition is a silent multiplier, and time rewards those who understand this truth early. In the end, the legend of the 1992 Liberty half-dollar is not about hype alone, but about possibility. It reminds us that even in modern times, surprises still slip through the cracks of history. Somewhere, a single coin may be resting quietly, unaware of the future it carries. For the person who recognizes it and refuses to let it go cheaply, that small circle of metal could indeed become the turning point of an entire lifetime. The story of the 1995 Liberty half-dollar with the P Mint mark is wrapped in mystery, emotion, and the kind of legend that keeps collectors awake at night. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary half-dollar, the kind many people have unknowingly spent on coffee or groceries. But hidden beneath its calm silver face is a tale that whispers of overnight fortune, destiny, and life-changing luck. This coin is not loud or flashy. It waits patiently, rewarding only those who recognize its silent power. What makes the 1995 Liberty half-dollar so captivating is not just metal or date, but perfection meeting rarity at the right moment in history. In that year, a very small number of coins were struck with extraordinary precision, almost as if the mint itself paused and took a deep breath before creating something special. These rare pieces escaped into circulation quietly, unnoticed, carry with them a spark that would later ignite unbelievable demand among elite collectors. The surface of this coin tells its own story. The shine is deeper, the details sharper, the balance almost unreal. Liberty's expression feels alive, frozen in a moment that cannot be repeated. On certain examples, the strike appears unusually strong, as if the coin was meant to survive centuries untouched. When such a piece appears today in flawless condition, it stops conversations, commands silence, and turns heads in private collector circles. What truly drives the value into unimaginable territory is scarcity, combined with condition. Many 1995 half dollars exist, but only a microscopic number exists in absolute perfection, untouched by time, air, or careless hands. These coins are not traded casually. They move behind closed doors, in quiet rooms where serious money speaks softly. When one of these rare survivors appears, price becomes secondary to desire. Collectors don't just see a coin here. They see a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Ownership of such a piece is about status, legacy, and power. The right 1995 Liberty half dollar has the ability to rewrite family histories, to transform ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. That is why those who truly understand never rush to sell. They wait, knowing patience multiplies value. There is also an emotional pull that cannot be explained by numbers alone. This coin represents chance, the idea that something small, overlooked, and ordinary can secretly carry massive potential. Many legendary collections began with a single coin like this, discovered accidentally, saved instinctively, and protected fiercely. That emotional story adds fuel to its ever-rising worth. In today's market, where wealth hunts rarity, coins like this become magnets for extreme interest. When demand clashes with near-zero supply, prices no longer follow logic. They explode. The right buyer does not ask, "How much is it worth?" They ask, "What will it take?" That moment is where millions are born from metal no larger than a palm. This is why selling such a coin cheaply is not just a mistake. It is a tragedy. Once it leaves your hands, it may never return. Many people have let go of rare coins too early, only to watch them surface years later at values beyond imagination. The 1995 Liberty half dollar punishes impatience and rewards belief. Its real power lies in timing. The world is moving toward tangible assets, objects that cannot be printed or copied. Coins with mystery, beauty, and scarcity stand at the center of this shift. The 1995 Liberty half dollar sits quietly in that space, waiting for the moment when the world finally realizes what it's been ignoring. So if you ever hold such a coin, do not see it as spare change. See it as a locked door. Behind it may be financial freedom, legacy wealth, and a story people will tell for generations. Some fortunes are built slowly, but others are already complete, hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right hands to recognize their power. The 1974 Liberty half dollar with the P Mint mark is often spoken about in hushed, excited tones by collectors because it sits at the crossroads of history, metal, and mystery. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary coin, something that may have passed through countless hands without a second thought. But hidden within certain rare examples is a story powerful enough to make hearts race and imaginations run wild. This is the kind of coin that reminds people that fortunes are sometimes born in silence, resting unnoticed in drawers, old wallets, or forgotten boxes, waiting for the right eyes to recognize their true potential. What makes this 1974 Liberty half dollar so special is not just its age, but the extraordinary circumstances surrounding a few surviving pieces. These coins were struck during a time of transition, when precision mattered, and even the smallest mistake could create something legendary. In extremely rare cases, tiny variations in strike, metal mix, surface texture, or die alignment turn an ordinary coin into something almost mythical. These are not flaws to a serious collector. They are fingerprints of history, proof that this exact coin could never be repeated again. The silver presence in these coins adds another layer of fascination. Silver is not just metal. It is a symbol of stored value, resilience, and timeless wealth. When a 1974 Liberty half dollar survives in exceptional condition, untouched by circulation, its silver glow becomes almost hypnotic. Collectors don't just see metal. They see preservation, rarity, and a moment frozen in time. The fewer marks, the sharper the details, the more breathtaking the value becomes, sometimes jumping beyond logic and into the realm of dreams. What truly drives prices into unbelievable territory is condition combined with rarity. A perfectly preserved 1974 Liberty half dollar, with unique characteristics, can become the crown jewel of a high-end collection. Wealthy collectors don't hesitate when something like this appears, because they know opportunities like this may never come again in their lifetime. When multiple collectors want the same coin, price stops being about numbers and starts becoming about desire, prestige, and ownership of something others can only dream about. Stories circulate within the coin world of ordinary people discovering such coins by accident. Someone checking an old family collection, someone inheriting a jar of coins, someone pausing just long enough to look twice. That's where the magic lies. This coin has a reputation of being a silent fortune changer, a reminder that destiny doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it whispers from the palm of your hand, disguised as spare change. The reason experts urge caution, never selling such a coin cheaply, is because its real worth is often invisible to the untrained eye. A quick sale may bring a few hundred or thousand, but the true value may lie far beyond that, waiting for the right stage, the right auction, the right moment. When rare coins reach elite markets, they are no longer compared to everyday money. They are treated like fine art, like historic artifacts, like once-in-a-generation treasures. There is also power and patience. Coins like the rare 1974 Liberty half dollar grow stronger with time. As more coins are lost, damaged, or melted, the surviving few become even more desirable. Each passing year tightens their grip on the market. What seems unbelievable today can feel completely normal tomorrow in the world of serious collectors, where record-breaking prices are not shocking. They are expected. Owning such a coin is not just about money. It is about control over your own narrative. It gives you leverage, choice, and confidence. You are no longer rushing to sell. You are waiting to be approached. This is why people say a single coin can change a fortune overnight. Not because magic is involved, but because rarity plus knowledge equals power. The 1974 Liberty half dollar with AP mint mark has earned its legendary status because it represents possibility. It proves that value is not always obvious, and that sometimes the most powerful assets are the ones ignored by the crowd. In the right condition, with the right features, this coin becomes more than silver. It becomes a key to a different future. So if you ever hold one of these coins, pause before you let it go. Look closely. Learn its story. Because history has shown again and again that some coins are not meant to be spent, traded, or rushed into the wrong hands. Some are meant to be understood, protected, and revealed at the perfect moment, when their true worth can finally shake a life and turn an ordinary person into someone who saw value where others saw nothing.
46 wheat penny from the United States of America carries a legacy far beyond its humble copper shell. Minted just after World War II, this coin represents a period of renewal, resilience, and economic rebirth. What makes certain 1946 wheat pennies incredibly valuable isn't just their age or design. It's the rare quirks and hidden flaws that slipped through the minting process, turning a simple 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. To the untrained eye, it might appear as just another Lincoln cent. But to those who understand its mystique, it holds the potential to be worth thousands, or even millions, depending on its condition and rarity. This tiny disc of metal, often tucked away in old drawers or forgotten jars, can indeed be a ticket to life-changing wealth. The artistry of the 1946 wheat penny is part of its charm. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, symbolizing endurance and unity. On the reverse, the simple elegance of the wheat stalks frames the denomination, 1 cent, and the proud words, United States of America. While most of these pennies were struck in ordinary copper alloy, some were accidentally minted on leftover planchets from earlier years, including steel or silver-like materials from 1943 wartime production. It's those few error coins, glimmering faintly with a silvery hue, that have captivated collectors' hearts and imaginations. They represent an accident of history, a rare fusion of time and circumstance that no mint could ever reproduce intentionally. Rarity drives value in the world of numismatics, and a 1946 wheat penny stands as a powerful example of that rule. A regular 1946 penny might fetch a modest sum, but a version struck on a steel or off-metal planchet could command staggering prices at auction. Some reports speak of pristine examples that sold for hundreds of thousands, and whispers among collectors suggest that a flawless specimen could be worth millions if authenticated. The key lies in its metallic makeup, mint mark, and condition. If you ever stumble upon a 1946 penny that appears silvery rather than coppery, handle it with the utmost care. It could be an astonishingly rare survivor of a minting mishap that defied all odds. Beyond its monetary value, the 1946 wheat penny embodies a story of perseverance and hidden potential. During the post-war years, America was rebuilding its strength, and every coin told part of that journey. Ordinary people used these pennies daily, unaware that some of them carried extraordinary worth. It's almost poetic to think that a symbol of modest value, a coin designed to represent the smallest unit of exchange, could one day rival the price of luxury cars, homes, or even estates. It reminds us that greatness often hides in the ordinary, waiting only for the right eyes to recognize it. Collectors often speak of the magic that surrounds certain coins, and a 1946 wheat penny is drenched in that mystique. Its worth doesn't come merely from its metal, but from the emotions and history it carries. To hold one is to grasp a fragment of America's post-war optimism, a tangible link between generations. Every scratch, tone, or minting mark tells a story, a whisper from the past echoing into the present. Those who appreciate its rarity know that they aren't just collecting coins. They're preserving heritage, passion, and a slice of human ingenuity that outlived its time. So, if fortune ever places a 1946 wheat penny in your hands, don't underestimate its power. Examine it with wonder, respect, and curiosity. What seems like a simple coin could be a masterpiece of accident and destiny, a piece of history that holds unimaginable value. In a world obsessed with instant wealth, this small copper or silver-toned treasure stands as proof that real fortune often hides where you least expect it. And perhaps, just perhaps, that unassuming penny could be the very thing that changes your life overnight. The 1952 wheat penny from the United States may seem like an ordinary copper coin at first glance, but within the world of numismatics, the art of coin collecting, it holds a magnetic charm that continues to captivate collectors and dreamers alike. Minted during the post-war era, when America's economy was rising from the shadows of hardship, this small piece of metal carries not only monetary value, but also the story of a nation in transition. What makes the 1952 penny truly fascinating is how certain rare versions of it, those struck with errors, unique tones, or preserved in pristine, untouched condition, can fetch breathtaking prices in the modern collector's market. In the right circumstances, this humble cent could indeed be a ticket to an unimaginable fortune. The coin's design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and 2 stalks of wheat on the back, symbolizes hard work, unity, and growth. Yet beneath this simple imagery lies a world of subtle variations that determine its destiny. Some 1952 wheat pennies were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark. Some in Denver, D-mint mark, and others in San Francisco, as mint mark. While millions were produced, only a handful have survived in flawless condition, unworn, gleaming, and radiating their original luster. These are the coins that make collectors' hearts race, because perfection is priceless in the world of numismatics. A coin untouched by time can transcend its face value and soar into the realm of the extraordinary. Even more thrilling are the error coins, those born of human imperfection at the mint. A double die strike, an off-center image, or a rare misprint can transform a penny into a legend. Imagine a 1952 wheat penny where Lincoln's face is slightly doubled, or where the inscriptions blur into ghostly echoes. These are not flaws, but signatures of rarity. Each one tells the story of a fleeting mistake that somehow escaped detection, destined to astonish collectors decades later. Such anomalies have been known to sell for staggering sums, often tens of thousands of dollars. And in some cases, certain unique pieces have been rumored to reach valuations that could make anyone's heart skip a beat. The allure of this coin isn't just about money, it's about discovery. Every 1952 wheat penny found in an attic drawer or passed down through generations carries the hope of hidden fortune. For many collectors, it's the thrill of uncovering something extraordinary from the ordinary, the sense that history has chosen their coin to be the rare one among millions. Holding a perfect or error 1952 penny in your hand is like holding a slice of America's golden past, a time capsule of copper, patience, and luck that might just hold the power to change your destiny overnight. In today's market, stories circulate of 1952 pennies being auctioned for astonishing prices, turning casual collectors into instant millionaires. While not every penny from that year commands such fame, the possibility is what keeps the legend alive. A coin graded at the highest level by experts, brilliantly red, gleaming as though it just left the mint, can ignite fierce bidding wars among enthusiasts worldwide. The more flawless the coin, the more priceless it becomes. And when rarity meets perfection, the value becomes almost mythical, pushing into figures that defy imagination. So if you ever come across a 1952 wheat penny, don't dismiss it as a mere copper cent. It could be the silent treasure waiting to reveal its power, the kind of coin that whispers of history, fortune, and fate. Within that small, time-worn circle of metal lies the potential to transform a life overnight, a tangible reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary things come disguised as the simplest. The 1952 wheat penny isn't just a coin. It's a dream pressed in copper, a tiny monument to luck, rarity, and the boundless wonder of discovery. The 1951 wheat penny from the United States is one of those humble-looking coins that hides an aura of mystery and fascination behind its copper sheen. Struck during an era when every penny carried the weight of a hard-working America, this coin has become more than just a relic. It's a whisper from history itself. Though millions were minted, only a few rare varieties and flawless conditions have transformed the 1951 wheat penny into a legendary collector's dream. The stories tied to these coins are not just about metal and mint marks. They're about discovery, luck, and the incredible power of time to turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. What truly makes some 1951 wheat pennies so valuable is the magic of rarity mixed with perfection. The majority were produced in the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, and while most circulated heavily, a few survived untouched, gleaming in near-perfect, uncirculated brilliance. Collectors crave these gems because they capture the beauty of Abraham Lincoln's portrait and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse with razor-sharp detail. The deeper the luster, the more dramatic the value. A coin struck slightly off-center, double-die varieties, or those made with unusual metal errors can command staggering prices, transforming a tiny cent into a treasure worth thousands, or even millions, under the right circumstances. The idea that a small, copper-colored coin could one day make someone a millionaire might sound like a fantasy, yet has happened. In the secretive and passionate world of coin collecting, rare errors or uncirculated examples of the 1951 wheat penny have fetched unimaginable sums at private auctions. The reason is simple. Perfection and rarity cannot be replicated. When a collector encounters a flawless 1951 penny shimmering with its original mint red glow, untouched by time or human hands, it becomes a piece of art, a window into the past when craftsmanship and precision mattered profoundly. There are whispers among numismatists about mysterious variants, coins struck on the wrong planchets, or those with double inscriptions that escape the mint's eyes. These rare mishaps, born out of chance and human imperfection, are the holy grail of the 1951 wheat penny series. A single specimen with the right kind of minting error can send shockwaves through the collecting world, drawing bids that climb into the stratosphere. In such cases, that humble penny becomes a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, a ticket to fortune, and a symbol of how the smallest details can create the grandest rewards. Beyond the numbers and grades lies something deeper, the story that every 1951 wheat penny carries. Each one has traveled through hands that built, dreamed, and lived through mid-century America. It has jingled in pockets during the post-war boom, been spent on candy or newspapers, or tucked away in jars by those who sensed its potential. To own one today, especially a rare or pristine piece, is to hold a fragment of that era, a living memory in metal. And for some, that emotional connection is worth more than the highest bid. So, if you ever come across a 1951 wheat penny, don't dismiss it as just spare change. Look closer. Its surface may hold secrets, its edges might whisper of rarity, and its story might be the one that changes your life overnight. Because in the mesmerizing world of coins, fortune often hides in plain sight. The 1951 wheat penny proves that history and luck can unite in the smallest of objects, reminding us that sometimes even a penny can shine with the power of